the Conservative Party. There is no such thing as an independent Conservative. She's becoming independent. I would like to understand if she's now an independent.
We'll answer. Briefly, please.
I will not at this time be leaving the Conservative Party. The only way, it seems, to hold the Conservative group to account is through doing it as an independent. I say an independent.
No, this is not a place to discuss internal procedures. Please sit down. Councillor Ingram.
Can I just say, I have no, I can't share that. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Mr. Mayor, there is no doubt. I just want to speak about how this plan affects Dedworth, if I may, and come on to some of the more general points involved. As Councillor Nicola Pryor mentioned, there is no doubt that when we received the news of a site called HA11, sometimes called the Garden Centre site because it takes its Swires and Wyville Garden Centre to West Windsor. We were surprised, shocked, and had a small sense of humour failing, to say the least. I think this has caused a lot of anxiety and concern in the community. And some residents think that we're actually going to start demolishing these garden centres tomorrow, if this bill goes through. I think that others believe that we're paid developers for the site. I think that there are many who are still unaware of the infrastructure plan, because it's a very, very difficult document to get hold of, and it's a quite technical document to read. There are Tories, still Tories, talk to me, have been telling me that I should fear the polls. I have a residents' action group who are telling me that I should fear the sack, although I'm not sure where I'm going to be sacked from. But more importantly tonight, Mr. Mayor, I feel Mrs. Wilson because it's our 24th wedding anniversary, which I forgot and chose to come here and be berated by the good people of Maidenhead. If I may just borrow a phrase from Councillor Hollingsworth, there is something rotten in the state of Dedworth. For me, this plan has to abide by three guiding principles. Number one, it has to put brownfield sites first. Number two, it has to be legal, decent, and acceptable to a planning inspector. Number three is it has to be properly explained and communicated to our residents. And as Councillor Pryor rightly says, late last year, we went round the houses and invited people to a public meeting at Windsor Racecourse, which was very well attended. We had a lot of very, very good questions from residents. Many of them were very, very pointed, which you can do to council sometimes. But you know what? People just wanted to know the facts. And a lot of these documents, although they are written with every good intention, they are still technical planning documents. Difficult to understand, difficult to read, and actually in some cases, difficult to get hold of. Residents, Mr. Mayor, need the facts about this. They do not need spin. It's a matter that's too important for Twitter and Facebook, where everybody wants to have their say, but no one actually wants to listen. And I will be writing to all of my residents after this meeting, and I will be explaining, like I've been doing, what this thing means for them. It means a lot to people in our community. And I would just urge members...
You have 1 minute left, Councillor.
Thank you very much. It'll be a very interesting minute, sir. All of us all of us share a responsibility to make sure that our residents can understand this plan as best they can. And I think what we've heard tonight is that we have a job to do in communicating this thing with our residents. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to get across. It's big, it's clunky, it's technical, and in large sections you probably shouldn't be reading it if you're planning to use any heavy machinery or drive a car. But it is very, very important. And we should take every opportunity we can to sit down and not to preach, and not to just Twitter or Facebook people, but to listen. To listen to their concerns. They have a lot of different concerns.
Your time is up, Councillor.
I will just finish on this point if I may, sir. We have a lot of residents who behind me are interested. They're not here just to shout or complain. It's because they are interested in this thing, and we have to listen to them. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Like a lot of people here, I've got a couple of children to bring up, and I've been trying to make sense of this enormous, mysterious project to try and arrive at a common sense view about what to do. This is a yes-no decision. To those who had a reasonable expectation of being invited to consult, and yet were not invited, I would only wish to offer an apology and say to look to the future if this plan is passed. In my experience with development management, developers are cunning predators. So it would be incumbent on all of us, I think, to set our alarm clocks. Now, the commonest complaint I've had by email is this mystery about infrastructure. And I too was a bit mystified, so I tried to get to the bottom of it. Now, to explain it, as I think we need to, I think the plan is basically a big wish list, and it cannot be at the stage for detailed description of infrastructure. This is the realm of development management, which comes later in the process. Any planning application must conform to or provide for adequate infrastructure according to a statutory schedule. If it does not, that application will fail. And the same goes for air quality and other environmental matters. Now, to me, that comes as a great reassurance that we're not unleashing Pandora's box. So I think infrastructure is the critical issue in front of us today. And the infrastructure we get will only be as good as the planning expertise we put into it. The Royal Borough is the busiest planning authority in the country, and I think we must therefore settle for nothing less than having the best planning department in the country. Anything less would be a false economy. And it is on this point that I will hold my own local council to account in 2019. Thank you.
Councillor Lily Evans.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, fellow councillors and residents. I'm like a lot of other people here, standing and have been a very heavy heart trying to work out what really is the right decision at a time when there is no ideal solution. What I'm used to doing is getting the facts. Before I make any decision, this is a very difficult decision, and we've got an awful lot of papers, and I'm afraid like every plan, plans are only as good as our vision forward is. So one thing that I've looked into is to say, okay, fine, we have had a plan before, and for the last 17 years, what have we learned about our plan and how well that worked out? And in particular, what did we learn about the population in our world? Now, luckily, we have a totally independent body, which is called the Office of National Statistics, which goes and drills down all the way down to your individual ward. So my local ward is Ascot and Cheapside. Now, we have a very interesting population. We have got majority aging population. We have, over the 17 years before this plan came up, had year-on-year growth of 60-year-plus residents of 4%. At the same time, as Councillor McWilliams has said, in the same period, we had year-on-year loss, 24 to 40-year-olds by the same percentage. We therefore have a shrinking base of residents who are able to contribute effectively in work environment. We have a growing need for health care. We have a growing need for homes for elderly. And we do not have, therefore, enough of the base to satisfy people who want a high quality of life within our borough. So the question becomes, what is it that we can do about it? We have for years looked to see how we can make our environment within the limitations that we have. And we have got a large green belt. I've moved to this borough from Virginia Water. Now that falls into Runnymede. They happen to have even more green belts than this borough here because their green belt is 86%. I happen to know an awful lot about their troubles of getting the local plan. So for those who think that the situation will be solved by either postponing or voting this thing down, let me tell you what is happening in Runnymede at the moment. Runnymede had a plan that was presented to under the Regulation 18, that was presented to Regulation 19, presented to the inspector. This plan was, because they've got a large green belt, was satisfying 82% of their required needs. No other local authorities were willing to take on any of their excess housing needs. What happened? The inspector has returned the plan and told them to start again. They are now, a year and a half later, they have had to get external company to do their review of the green
You
belt.
have 1 minute left, Councillor.
They have got a garden village imposed on them with over 2,500 homes, and they now have been asked to have another consultation for extra housing, which is going to be put exactly on the green belt gaps between the villages that